the takeaway here for me from all of this is, dude, Sykkuno, why the fuck are you replying to 19-year-old girls? Like, dude, stop. Like, just reply to the 30-year-old women and break up with your girlfriend. Oh my God. Time to talk about what's been all over my feed, which is the Quit Longer that was made on Sykkuno. For anyone who doesn't know, Sykkuno is a streamer on Twitch, and I think maybe he streamed on YouTube. I'm not sure. Um, and there was a woman yesterday, who posted something. She posted a Google Doc, and we can take a quick little look at it. And I have a lot of opinions. The statement says 30 million views. Holy shit. Exposing Sykkuno, a serial cheater, master manipulator, and dangerous predator. Read, and this is the doc. Let me pull it up one sec. I read all of this off stream. You're not allowed to be a woman on the internet and have opinions. Sorry, you're right. I read all of this off stream, but so I'm not going to read every single page of the 32 pages on stream. I recommend you read it, make your own decisions, have your own opinions on whatever on the internet. And I want to go piece by piece. We're going to go piece by pre-watch Denims. True. She says, on Valentine's Day of this year, I was followed on Twitter by Sykkuno. I thought it was amazing. Such a big creator, even knew I existed, let alone followed me on social media. He had been my role model, someone I looked up to for a long time, ever since my high school days. However, what I learned about Sykkuno after that day would make me regret my decision. He's not the kind, soft-spoken character you see on stream. He's a serial cheater, liar, and manipulator who uses his status to get what he wants from as many women as possible, more specifically ones who are smaller or upcoming content creators, knowing he can take advantage of them. After confiding in many others who had similar experiences, I realized this was not an isolated incident. In fact, it was something that had been going on for multiple years. He made sure to cover his tracks and never left a paper trail significant enough for someone to make this public. Now, this has all changed. These are serious allegations, and I fully understand that this should not be treated lightly. And she shows some of the text messages. After Valentine's Day, I was so excited about him following me that I told a friend, who then urged me to strike up a conversation. I worked up the courage to send him a DM, and he replied right away. She sent him a message saying, "Are you perhaps still looking for a Valentine's Day?" With like a Sabrina Carpenter gift. And he said, "What? You can't open with something like that. And besides, Valentine's Day is almost over where I'm from already." And she says, "I mean, we can always do a Valentine's Day do-over, you know? Is this just shitty boyfriend and cheater, or is this abuse? We'll get to that." Invited me to play games with him. In the same first conversation, he brought up what kind of games he liked to play, invited me to play with him after a conversation. All of this is like, all of this is like normal conversations, just showing that I guess they talked. And then they talk about playing Overwatch and Torbjorn. Interest in where I live for context is the same day as the first conversation, only moved to Discord after a few hours apart since I'm U zone and the US time zone, and he's in the US time zone. Things started out innocently enough with him inquiring about fun things to do near where I live, such as aquariums and conventions. TwitchCon EU specifically, I'd like to point out that I said we can go on a date to make up for Valentine's Day. He not once expressed to me any discomfort or that he wasn't single. Let me say, within the context of conversations being manipulative, I don't see anything in this here so far that is beyond normal. If you reach out to someone, and I'm going to get to everything. If you reach out to someone and you say like, "Hey, let's go on a date," haha. And they're like, "Yeah, do you have any aquariums near you or something?" There's nothing about that immediately stands out to me as manipulative. Okay, continuing. He followed my private Instagram. Okay. Plans to meet in person. Okay. Plans to move in together with Sykkuno. Our relationship moved so incredibly fast, it felt like a dream. It was like he could make anything I wanted happen. And as someone as prolific and successful as him, I had no reason to doubt anything he said to me. Not show that Sykkuno and I were intending to adopt a cat and have me possibly move into his house. I told him we couldn't get a cat yet due to me not being a U.S. citizen and possibly having visa issues. Keep in mind, this conversation happened 2 days after the first conversation. It can make it hard to go outside or do something. And then she says, "I get that I'm allergic to grass, but not as bad. But I can become really dizzy from it. It's the only allergy I really have. But if I ever come visit, like, we don't have to always go out, as long as you're comfy. Also, aren't pets bad for your condition? I don't know how sensitive it is. Sometimes cat hair can make it worse. Certain ones can be. It depends. My dog is fine. He's not very allergenic. Well, my family dog, I don't get to see often." where's the part about the cat? She says, I mean, if I'm there anyways, we'll have to think of a name. No, yeah, but IDK, if I can take care of it myself, or are you going to just name it Cat? You'll have to stay to help take care of it. LOL. I'm okay with that though. IDK, how that would work with me staying there. Also, I can't stay there forever. This is after 2 days. Maybe the conversations that I've had with people are bizarre, but I feel like I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the conversations that I've had with people are bizarre. I feel like I've had these conversations with people. I would assume that within 2 days it's like half joking. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is no. Maybe this is like 227. I don't know. I had a relationship like this when I was 15. It seems like he's joking around and she's being serious. Yeah, maybe. You're lucky if I respond in 2 days. Okay, and then we'd barely known each other for a few days. This 34-year-old man was already expressing interest in moving in together to live in the same house. Is that okay? I maybe this is just the way that I talk is I'm misunderstanding this. I feel like every time I feel like one of the things with becoming an adult for me has been realizing that when people say, I saw this one meme that I wish I had on me on hand right now that I wish I could show you guys. But I feel like if, you know, when people say, we should get coffee sometime, for the longest time in my life, I thought when people said that, they mean that you need to follow up immediately and they will follow up immediately to make coffee plans. And then growing up, I realized when people say that, they mean, I had a good time. And if I'm feeling up for it and you're feeling up for it, and maybe we get the opportunity, maybe we should have coffee. But I'm not going to do anything to make that happen. And I don't expect you to do anything to make that happen either. And learning that is like, oh, okay, which is contextualize all my other relationships and all my other, when I say relationships, I mean friendships or otherwise, into like, oh, when people say things, especially when you just barely got to know them, they don't mean it in like an immediate way or in a serious way. They mean it in like a, yeah, that would be a cool thing to think about. And it's like, oh, okay. Has to be an American thing? It is an American thing. I actually hate that that's a thing. Dude, I spent many years getting over it. I spent many years getting over it. It's very frustrating. I actually despise it. It's an LA thing. It's not even an LA thing. I've had this, I grew up in New York and learned about this. Um, it's not a lamb from the South. It just happens in the US. It's very infuriating. I've never understood this. It's always pissed me off, but it's like, okay, got it. That when someone says that, they just mean you're hanging out. And I think in the context of someone being like, hey, it's Valentine's, want to go on a date or whatever, and someone is that forward, I would assume that but like maybe that's just because I can say that because like I'm older. So I know that when people talk about stuff, they talk about things that are serious more casually, and you shouldn't expect anything out of it. Maybe that's just like, that just comes with getting older and more experience. I don't know. Wait, just joined and I'm employed. What happened with Sykkuno? We're just going over this document. And then this is the stuff that I think most people care about. Lying about being single and dating history. So my understanding recently is that he has a girlfriend that he's had for like 5 years, and he reaches out, or other women reach out to him, and he talks to them in a flirtatious way. And then she says, sexting, we texted every single day. These interactions would be charged with flirting, suggestive topics. I would send him suggestive pictures and videos. He would confirm that he would touch himself to them. Additionally, he'd always act flustered and inexperienced, keeping up the illusion of his on-stream innocent persona. We'd regularly talk about date ideas and things we'd like to do in the future, where we'd meet up IRL. Okay, and then what she shows, let me just make sure there's nothing in this. I would imagine all of this would be censored. But sorry, I'll read them. I don't see anything about this. You do it. You're too sweet, but you did ditch TwitchCon for me. Watch something then, or watch. I even feel like these conversations are linked. Talking about like playing Helldivers or watching a show or something. And then he says later, different station. No, no, it's the same conversation, but later in the day. You do too? Yeah? Question mark. Like in that audio recording I sent you. Yes, you sounded really cute in that too. So cringe. Stop. Oh my God. Oh, Oh my God, dude. Sorry. This is so cringy. This is like the cringiest thing I've ever seen. One of the, not definitely not the cringiest, but this is definitely cringy. I've never done this kind of thing before. Oh, stop, dude. Stop. Stop. Oh, Christ almighty. I haven't really dated much, so you have me now. My XP bar is low. Stop. The problem is every single person that's ever had text messages with another person has cringy messages. If there was even any flirting, you have cringy messages. Oh, dude. I can't. I can't. Some of these I don't really understand what the purpose is of them. So like there's this one where she says, "Going back to sleep now. Hope you have a good rest. You're feeling better. You don't have to send and you don't have to send me what the heck. I hope you feel as good as you look. I know you said you weren't feeling too great yesterday." Oh, okay, so it's him saying it said she sent him a photo or something. Maybe she deleted it. Or maybe it's here or something. Feeling a bit better, yeah. I love getting compliments from you. Also, good morning, handsome. What are you up to? Sugar daddy, less than a month later, Sykkuno would randomly ask for my PayPal account in DMs, and he realized then he'd waste no time sending me money unprompted. Something that I'd later realized was a behavioral pattern that he'd employ with women he'd express interest in. I wanted to reiterate that I never asked him for his money, and he did this of his own volition. He bought me both a gym jacket and Resident Evil 9 because I expressed interest in the game. I mean, I think sending money to someone, what is this? 200, 280. I think if you say, "Oh, I really want this game," and then someone gives you the money to get the game, maybe I'm like, I don't know. This is like neurotypicals. I don't know which part of my brain is neurotypical and which part of my brain is not neurotypical. And maybe you missed the most important screenshot. Which one? Oh, what, this one? Yeah, I wondered if you've touched yourself while watching anything, what I sent you. What? Why would you wonder that? Maybe. Yes, of course I have. Okay, I mean, I don't I believe that. I don't. Yeah. Okay. I agree with everyone thinking that that's cringe and that's I don't know. I think the worst thing about it is like the age. The age between those two people is the worst thing. I don't think it's weird to send if you remove the sorry, I'm looking at this within the context of relationships I've had and friendships that I've had. And there isn't anything inherently predatory about sending someone photos and and then asking them, "Do you touch yourself?" to that, and then them saying yes. I think the focus on that is stupid because you should just focus on their age. The text messages don't make the age worse. The age is just bad on its own. That doesn't make it worse, if that makes sense. Like, I don't need text messages to make those text messages don't change my opinion on that age gap being bad. Like, I don't. The text messages are like just normal cringy messages between people. That's legitimately correct. I don't. Hmm? Yeah, the interaction is cringe. Age gap is the main thing. Yeah. And maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe my perception of this is different or my perception of this is wrong. Have people not bought like their friends games before? Obviously, I understand the position of the person making this, which is look at the context of everything else. But the context doesn't make this weird, if that makes sense. If you say, like, if a friend of mine was like, "Oh, I really wish I could get RE9, but I just can't afford it right now." And I'm Sykkuno and I'm sitting on bags of money, I'd be like, "Dude, here you go." Within the context where you're like dating someone, I don't think it's like uh predatory to date someone and then send them money to buy one game and a jacket. If you're going to show predatory stuff, I'm down to listen. This is like this. I feel like one example of predatory behavior that a lot of male creators engage in the space, not that female creators couldn't, but that male creators do more often than women or female creators do is, "Oh, I can get you a career. Yeah, we can get you on all of the streams." I feel like that hanging that over someone's head is way more predatory. Like that is actually predatory. This is like if you were dating someone and then they gifted you money to play a game and they're like a rich streamer. That just feels like almost expected. Maybe I feel like I would do that. This is like not this isn't I think this isn't far enough for my bar of financial coercion. Whereas saying, "Oh, I could give you a streaming career," and like hanging it over your head, that feels predatory. Like 280, like for, and again, the difference here as well is about how much money and status and whether or not someone needs those things, right? So like if someone's like, "Yeah, I can't like pay rent," and you're like, "I got it. I'll pay your rent. I got it. I'll do that. I got it." That's like now we're entering into predatory territory because this person is literally relying on you to live for a jacket you want or for a game you want. I don't know if this goes on to sugar daddy territory. So I think this is like Hassan does more for socialismus. Yeah. This feels inappropriate but not abusive. Again, yes. I feel like a lot of this is inappropriate, if only because, dude, you're 34 and you're talking to a 19-year-old. I get that she reached out to you, but like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Sorry, this chatter. My favorite thing is chatters that type like fucking freaks and then have the audacity to try and reverse the roles. You're a love bomber, groomer too. Self-report. Did I buy my friend's games? That's not love bombing. What the fuck? That's not grooming. A friend that I've had no sexual contact with, no sexual conversations with, that I've been friends with for years. It's like, "Yeah, I really want this game," but I'm like, "You know what? Come on, here you go. Take the game. Come on." That's not love bombing. Are you? Ayo, you a groomer for sure. Keep writing your fanfic, bro. And you gotta love it. Every time you look at these chatters, you look at their chat messages, Denims is turned on by this guy. Dude, can you stop writing fanfic about me? It's really weird and creepy. Just do what everybody normal does. Write fanfic about fictional characters. Write as much fanfic as you want about how Leon Kennedy's having sex with Chris Redfield or whatever. But like, writing, this has always been something that I've always thought is so creepy. People who write fanfic about real people. Dude, creepy as hell. So creepy. All right. I'm a cis hetero white guy. I've had random people I've met online buy me games before. Again, to be very clear, I think that within the context of relationships, all of the little details matter and they can add up to a different picture. But I think individually, um, lacking important, clear abuses of power, the other things don't do enough to support the original claim. And this is sort of, this goes back, again, I've read this whole thing off stream because I wanted to read it and I wanted to get an understanding of how this person, where this person was. Um, and I think this is something that I think a lot of other people have been frustrated by, that like, when you describe, when you use twitlongers and you use Twitter and you use mediums meant for calling out predators, and you use hyperlanguage to describe those things, I think it diminishes the terms a little bit and it's frustrating. And I think it's frustrating for a lot of people, but especially women who have dealt with insane predators that are in the space. This is like, to be clear, the cheating stuff, we'll watch the video. The cheating stuff is real. He did, in fact, cheat on his girlfriend, and that's bad. Shocker. I know, crazy. I know, wow, insane. Cheating is bad. Okay. And he hits on a lot of women. He's cheated on his girlfriend with a lot of women. Still bad. Yeah, still correct. That is still bad. I think the jump from that to predatory, I just feel like the word predatory means a little bit more. And maybe new stuff will come out, in which case I would love to read it and I would love to hear about it if women would feel comfortable talking about it. It's just so frustrating because I know that like these things are already, victims have to be so close to perfect already. Victims who deal with serious sexual abuse or verbal abuse or psychological abuse. And I want those women to be able to use terms that are accurate without everyone rolling their eyes. I feel like it's a bit weird. He seemed to target smaller streamers. I mean, I don't know that there's like, hear the leak call. Yeah, I listened to all of it and we can listen to it again. I don't think that there's like, I think it's weird to keep responding or to maintain a relationship with like someone who's 19 when you're in your 30s. That's weird. Like, what? He just seems like he doesn't care. That's predatory to me. I think if you're specifically reaching out to all of these women and you're incentivizing them to come see you or come meet you or whatever, then I think that you've entered predatory territory. If you're like, if you clearly don't care about cheating on your girlfriend or whatever, which is fucked up, and lying to your girlfriend, which is even more fucked up, and women are reaching out to you and talking to you, and they're like, "Oh, we should go on a date," and you're like, "E-dating isn't real, whatever, sure, yeah," and it's just like kind of all online for you, then it's like, okay, you're just kind of a piece of shit. You're kind of a piece of shit for cheating on your girlfriend and lying to her for as long as you did. I wanted to say one thing that I feel like is really pissing me off with this entire story. No one seems to care about the girlfriend. No one seems to care about Sykkuno's girlfriend. I did not. I read this thing and I didn't see a single line that said that this woman got consent from his girlfriend to post this. I saw that she said that she spoke to the girlfriend. This is the only thing. I really, really hope she got consent. If I was in a relationship with a creator online and I found out that they were lying to me and that they were cheating on me, and then someone made a twit longer about it, and then uploaded a video where they say, where my partner says, yeah, we haven't had sex in years. I would like want to kill myself, dude. I'm sorry. I would be so fucking mortified. And it feels like the girlfriend is the biggest victim in this story by far. And it feels like nobody cares about whether or not she consented to any of this becoming public. No, I haven't seen a single post. I haven't seen a single post. I haven't seen a single comment, not a single reply, not a single quote tweet. Nobody seems to care about the person who is most obviously the biggest victim in this. And I'm really, really, really hoping that the woman who posted this video, she got full consent to upload all of the stuff that she did upload. And I will play for you guys the video. And again, please, I recommend everybody read it yourself. Okay, so she says this is like, as his girlfriend was crying downstairs, he chose to prioritize someone that he barely met 2 months ago. I pointed this out during the call for context. Sorry, this is really long-winded and it talks about a bunch of details talking about how he was playing up this character of being inexperienced or whatever, and he wasn't. This is a call that she has with the person who made this, the VTuber who made this. She calls Sykkuno and confronts him and is like, okay, so you were not cheating on him or cheating on her and blah, blah, blah. And this is the call.
Hello.
Thomas.
Hello.
So?
Well, pretty much know most of it.
Yeah? Like what?
Know what?
No, you can tell me.
Okay. Well, wasn't very honest.
Oh?
About single.
About what? You have to speak up a little bit. Your mic's cutting out.
Sorry, always happens. About being single, and I just wanted to tell you how everything happened.
Uh-huh. You're still gonna have to speak up a little bit, by the way. You're still cutting out a lot.
Sorry, you know how I talk quietly.
Yeah, but you never talk this quietly.
I'm sad.
It's the actions of your... Well, it's the consequence of your own actions, I suppose.
I know.
Mm.
So basically, I was in a very happy relationship.
Doesn't sound like it, but sure.
Well, let me finish.
Continue.
I was in a very happy relationship a long time ago.
Long time ago. What, like 2021?
I don't know the exact time, honestly, but a long time ago. Then It got a lot less happy.
How so?
I don't fully know. She just stopped hanging out with me that much, and
Stop hanging out with you. She lives with you.
yeah, I mean,
You're gonna have to speak up. I can't hear a single sentence that comes out of your mouth.
I know what you guys are thinking. Is someone going to say something? Did you pause the video?
You there?
yes, I'm here.
Okay, I'm just asking because you went quiet.
Anyway, so I was very, very happy,
Mm-hmm.
and at some point it wasn't so happy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly when, but like we stopped spending time together. We hadn't done anything together for years.
Or what? I couldn't hear that part.
I said we hadn't done anything together for
Stop
like
commenting on
years.
the voice, guys. Please stop. Stop. Oh. Bro just wants to be an e-boy at 34. Let him be an e-boy. Stop.
That part.
I said we hadn't done anything together for like years,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just very sad and alone. Didn't feel wanted at all.
Mm-hmm. So you slept with Elfie in Paris.
Yeah.
And then you flirted with me. And were telling me how you wanted me to come visit you in Vegas, and how you wanted to go on a date, and how you were serious about me, and how you really meant it, and how you wanted to go get a cat together.
Yes.
Yeah. Why? Why didn't you just break off the relationship then?
Because a combination of remembering how it was, some part of me hoping it would go back to that, and
Well, obviously it's not going to go back to that if you're actively cheating on her. It's only going to get worse. I think that's really on you, bud. And I know you're smarter than that.
I'm not.
I mean, for fuck's sake, you're a 34-year-old man. Yes, you are. Stop acting like you're a child.
I'm trying so hard.
Don't think that's what I'm acting like, but
I mean, you say you're not smarter than
Guys,
that.
stop bullying her. She's literally 19, bro. You guys weren't cringe when you were 19. You guys weren't cringe lords when you were 19. Yeah, she hit the bud. She hit the hard B bud, bro.
But you are. You're a 34-year-old man. You just chose to do it. You knew damn well in the back of your head that it wasn't going to end up well.
yeah. But it's complicated.
It's really not.
So.
Cheating is just bad. She hasn't done anything to ask for it to be cheated on. It's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, but she relied on me to take care of a lot of things, and I still can't.
This is something that I don't understand why it's hard for people to wrap their brains around. Multiple things can be true at the same time. Relationships can be complicated and cheating can be bad. Both of those things can be true. Whoa.
Cared about her.
Okay, that doesn't mean that you do that because you wanted to, not because she was like holding it against you or forcing you to.
No.
Exactly. So there's still no excuse for you to cheat on her.
Not saying there was one. Just explaining why it happened.
The only reason why it happened is because you just chose to do it.
And this is basically where I'm at right now. I think this is weird that it's being litigated in public instead of dealt with privately. This is my personal opinion, okay? I feel like there are things that should be, first and foremost, I have to reiterate, I have not seen a single post, a single comment, a single reply, a single quote tweet. No one seems to give a shit about what the girlfriend wanted or wants. If I was making this document, I would not make, personally, I would say it would be up to the girlfriend to make this document, and I would only provide supporting information if she decided she wanted to. But if I was a girlfriend, this is just not shit that, like, I would want mentioned publicly. God forbid a recording of the person I'm dating saying that we haven't had sex in years. Like, think about all of the people that this woman is friends with that are probably friends with other people in the creator space. And every time you introduce yourself, it's like, oh, hey, blah, 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 I'm this person. They're like, oh, how are you in the space? You stream? Do you do what? And you're like, no, I don't. How'd you get in? Remember that guy who talked about, remember that guy who was like cheating with like a lot of women? Yeah, that's me. I've talked about this during the Super Mega thing as well. There was this massive expose on Super Mega, and the person who did the expose on Super Mega put in their document that like one of the guys there cheated on his girlfriend with someone else. And I know for a fact that person did not want their personal. They actively spent so much of their time in life making sure that that didn't get out because it's humiliating. And I think everyone here can agree the biggest victim in this is the girlfriend who was lied to for weeks or months or years. Like I'm so I would at least want the agency to know what is that's happening, that's being made public. And the idea is like, personally, I think the reason for having Quit-longers or the Me Too movement is to expose predators who actively use their platform to reach out to people and then exploit that power in ways that are tangible for the purpose of sexual exploitation or psychological exploitation or whatever list of things, right? That especially the people that know that they actively like pretend like they were going to make this person become a big streamer or whatever. And they're like, oh, yeah, I could make you be a big YouTuber. I could make you be a big streamer. That's like clear exploitation of power. Because that person maybe is doing things that they wouldn't otherwise do if they didn't think that you were actually promising them that, right? And so that's someone who actively, explicitly exploits their power and doesn't actually care about those relationships at all, right? I feel like if the purpose of Twitlongers now is just, this is a shitty person who cheated on his girlfriend, and everyone should know that this is a shitty person who cheated on his girlfriend. Where is the line exactly? What if someone publicly humiliates you repeatedly in front of your friends and they're a content creator? Is that someone who we should make a post about? What about someone who frequently engages in demeaning behavior or rude behavior that you're dating? It feels like there are certain things that are actually personal, that are within the realm of personal relationships and people being shitty people in relationships, that doesn't warrant online conversation. He's done this to multiple women. Going public with it is fine. To warn others of the fact that if you are a woman that shows interest in him and reaches out to him, that he will reciprocate. I think it's more important to warn his girlfriend. I mean, yeah, like reaching out. I totally agree with her decision to reach out to his girlfriend. His girlfriend should know immediately that he cheats in theory. Okay, so then should we make, should Kaide make like a full document on the failings of their relationship and why Tens is a terrible person? Like, that's my point. When you're saying like, well, we got to warn other people about how this person is a shitty person in relationships. How far can we go? That's my genuine question. My genuine question is, where can we make failings in relationships public? Genuinely, I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm genuinely trying to ask. Kaide broke up with Tens. No, they had a mutual falling out. I'm just using them as an example. There's a difference between warning that he's a cheater and warning that he's a predator. Precisely. Correct. And if someone is out there and they have stories about Sykkuno about genuinely abusing his power dynamics, I would support them completely 100%. I mean, they mean the part where he constantly looks for younger, smaller content creators. I think that's the point. No, I think the point is that he probably, okay, maybe I'm sexist against men. I don't know. I feel like the horny dudes in the world follow everybody and they just wait for anyone to reply. And the people that are going to reply or the people that are going to reach out are going to be younger. Source, a bunch of 30-year-old women said that he was in their DMs. If only women that were 19 or 20 were talking about him being in their DMs, I'd be like, yeah, you're a predator. You're a fucking predator. Why are you only reaching out to teenagers? If you're literally shooting your shot with literally anyone and anything that will breathe, at that point, it's the fact that the majority of people that are responding are 20 is because they're young and that's why they don't understand why that situation is fucking. That's not, to be clear, that's not their fault at all. That's not their fault. At no point is that their fault. Because it's hard. When you're 19, you don't understand, like, this guy's like 34. What am I doing? That's too much to ask of a 19-year-old. It's his responsibility to not take teenagers up on this dude. I totally agree with you. 100%. 1,000,000% I agree with you. Yes, if you realize and you find out that the person you're talking to is 19 and you're 30, it's your job. It is your responsibility to say, hey, I know you're the one reaching out to me, asking to go on a date with me, but you're just a little young. I agree. But this idea of, like, this is what I mean when I say language is so important, and it's so important for us to use language accurately, especially when it comes to situations. I saw one post that phrased it really, really well, that, like, nobody would care, or, like, no one would have been as aggressive as they have been, because if the woman who originally made this post chose more accurate language. Because there is a difference between being a predator and being a predatory and reaching out to only young women versus literally shooting your shot with anything that can fucking breathe and being a piece of shit who cheats on his girlfriend. Let me see if I can find this. There was one post. I'll see if I can find it, but there was a post that really explained it very well. Look at your DMs. Maybe he's in there as well. I don't check my DMs. If bro is in there, I wouldn't know. I don't check them. I can't find it. There was a post that phrased it really well, but I lost it. I disagree. A 34-year-old flirting with a 19-year-old is a power imbalance in the relationship, and such as this is predatory. You can say that the person is engaging in reprehensible behavior that you disagree with, which I already said, so I don't think that there's much there to disagree with, and saying we should save predatory for people who actively, exclusively seek out young, immature, or young, inexperienced would be a better term, people. I'm saying that inherent to predation is the intent. Isn't Sykkuno bald as fuck and hides it with his bangs? Dude, what does that have to do with anything? I don't even know if that's true. What does that have to do with anything? Why does that matter? I don't understand why that matters. Maybe we're just defining predation slightly different, which is all fine. Again, it's like a big part of a lot of the stuff online for me is that, like, I know it's so hard for women to get taken seriously online, especially when they come out about serious things. And I want to do everything in my power to help, or I want other people, everyone, to do as much as they can in their power to help classify things as accurately and as cleanly as possible for the best outcome for the women that do use the terms predator or do use the terms, manipulator or whatever you'd like to describe it. Like, is he a liar? Yeah. Is he a cheater? Yeah. Master manipulator? I read all of the DMs. I didn't see master manipulation. I saw fuckboy being a fuckboy. He's a cheater and a liar and a piece of shit. All those things can be true, but aren't we giving him a little too much credit there? He's also cringe. Don't forget, cringe is the most important thing. And again, if has anyone else come out? If they said their ages? Yeah, a bunch of them said they were in their 30s. I know people in their 30s who got reached out to by Sykkuno. I've seen the posts online of people in their 30s saying Sykkuno was in their DMs. That gives piece of shit, not master manipulator, which he is. He's a piece of shit. He's a liar and a cheater, and he's a piece of shit for all of those things. If only we saw a real case of predatory manipulator behavior earlier on CNN. I mean, one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about that and use it as an opportunity to highlight the differences is because it is such a massive difference and it's such a massive distinction to highlight what real, genuine, insane predation equals. Which, by the way, even if the woman in the story, even if the woman that was sexually taken advantage of, even if she wasn't raped, this would still be completely unacceptable behavior. And this is clearly a man, 100%, Eric Swalwell, clearly using his power and imposing it on his staffers because he knows he can get away with it, because it's something that happens a lot in politics, and especially being someone in politics, and especially because they know that he is married with kids. So they're like, well, he would never do that with me. He would never do something inappropriate, right? He is actively using as much of his power as possible to be a predator and then eventually commit sexually abusive crimes. When I see this, when I see this story and I see the stories I've seen online, I see a piece of shit who really should just break up with his girlfriend. Clearly, you don't want to be with your girlfriend anymore. You should leave your girlfriend. You shouldn't string her on. And I mean, I take lying to an extreme. And I think if you lie to your partner, I don't even care what you lie about. Lying is it's such a serious offense to me, and I'm not joking. Like, if I find out someone lies to me, unless it's a white lie or whatever, if I find out someone lies to me, I can't trust you anymore. Like, I can't trust you anymore. If I can't trust you to tell me the truth when I ask you a question, how can I ever trust you? Like, you are such a piece of shit to lie to your partner. And I don't mean about like unimportant things. I mean about important things. And I will take it to, when I say important things, I mean like if I have a favorite vase and you broke it and you lied to me and then I found out later, I would be livid. Like, I would be so livid. It would be so hard for me to trust you, even for something like that. For very small things, it's like, it's less important. But for things that like matter to me, even if it's not something that would matter to someone else, I don't want to be lied to. I would rather deal with the truth and then go from there than be lied to. Like, it is so, like, the way that I see being in a, like, dating or marriage or being in a partnership of any kind, that foundation is built on trust. If you don't have trust and you don't have each other's backs, why the fuck are you together? Why the fuck are you with someone that you can't trust, that you don't feel comfortable talking to and saying the truth to? A lot of chatter saying he's going after smaller creators. We even have proof that that's happening. It's that he's going after all creators, which I've already said this. This is like, he can be a piece of shit and he can be sending DMs to literally any breathing female. And there are creators who are successful who have had him in their DMs. It's just that, generally speaking, the people that are responding to him are people who are still really small creators and are young. And it's because of their inexperience that they don't realize, yeah, bro is going to flirt back and bro is probably lying and whatever, all these other things. Like, you don't have to like Sykkuno. You can think he's a piece of shit in this story, and he is the piece of shit in this story. And also think we collectively have a responsibility to use appropriate language when discussing people. And also, I am genuinely disappointed by the fact that I have not seen a single person that seems to care about what his girlfriend wants. Is it fair to say this one instance was predatory, but not in a pattern of predation? Absolutely. 100% agree. Yes, it is predatory to be talking to a 19-year-old when they're a fan of yours and you're 34. It doesn't have to mean that there is a pattern of predation. It can be that, again, selection bias, the women that are the most likely to respond to you, or the people that are most likely to respond to you, are going to be small creators who are young. You have a responsibility as an adult, as a 34-year-old, to say, I'm sorry. I can't reciprocate this. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I found one. Wow. Finally, one person. Makes me wonder, did she ask the girlfriend if it was okay to air this all out the way that she did? At most, he's a cheating man whore. And a lie. Okay, I feel like no one's talking about that. I feel like everyone's focusing on the cheating part and not enough people are focusing on the lying part. Maybe I'm copium as fuck on this, but I feel like, I don't know how you repair a relationship that was filled with lies. I feel like almost everything else people have and people do overcome. I don't think you can repair a relationship built on lies. Can't cheat without lying. Have you never heard of people that cheat and then immediately go and tell their partners? And then say, okay, if you want to leave me, you can go ahead and leave me. I just can't live with that or whatever. When I'm talking about when you're cheating over the course of lots of time, then you're lying. And the lying part is the part that like, I will never, that is such a, that is such a, mm-mm, mm-mm. I think most people think cheating equals lying too, or cheating comes with lying. You lied by saying you'll be faithful. No, that's stupid. That's like saying, like, you said you would, trying to think of a good analogy. You know, you would keep their pets safe and then you dropped one of the pets or something, or you let it like run out or something accidentally or something like that. I'm not saying that cheating is an accident. That's not what I'm saying, to be clear. I'm saying people make poor decisions frequently. And if you want a smaller example, look at friendships that you've had that have been destroyed or hurt by smaller things, right? Like I've had friends that, why did you have to use that example? I don't know. I was just thinking about anything. I've had a friend that told me that like they needed me in a specific moment and I wasn't there because I was, to be quite honest with you guys, unbelievably depressed. And I was going through some weird shit, but it's not an excuse. And I disagree with infantilizing people just because they're dealing with shit. Because I should have been able to communicate that I can't be there. And I didn't say that. And in the last second I said that. And they literally were like, I need a break from this friendship. Like you're supposed to be there for me and you said you would be and then you weren't. And I was like, you're so right. You're so right about everything you just said, Queen. You're so right. My intention when I made the promises I made earlier were not to lie. I did not intend to lie. I made a poor decision in the moment. And you don't have to defend that decision at any point in any part of your relationship, friendship, whatever. When I'm talking about lying, I'm talking about you are clear. Your head is clear. You are sober. And you are speaking to someone. And you are choosing actively by omission to lie, to not specify anything. And God forbid when the other person says like, what were you doing? Then you lie. That's what I mean when I say lie. Like if I don't feel like I can say to you something, like if I feel like if I ask a question to the person I'm with and they will lie to me, there's no recovering from that. Or if you know you did something that was fucked up and you don't say anything, like here's a good example. What if you were jerking off and you were using your wife's computer for porn and the cam was on and you just got her fired? And the only thing that the team sends is, hey, we've chosen to dismiss you and yeah, we need you to go. Yeah, just certain behavior has been unacceptable. And your wife comes to you and she's like, dude, they just fired me for literally no reason. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't even know why this is happening. Like, and you're like, yeah, I don't know why that's happening. If you lied to me there and I found out, I would lose my marbles. I would lose my shit. You have a responsibility in that moment to fucking sack up, bro, and be like, so funny story. You know how you said not to use your work computer? Well, my computer was lagging. And then stuff. I kind of used it just as an example, right? Just as a random fucking example. The point is, infidelity is totally a valid reason to break up and never see that person again, especially if you don't feel like you can rebuild the trust. 100%. I think that that's a valid reason. I don't think you need to explain yourself. I don't think anyone ever needs to explain themselves. And if you feel like you can't move past that, totally valid. That's fine. You can break up with another person if you want to break up with another person, especially if you don't even have any fucking kids. But sometimes, especially because you have kids, that can be 100% a deal breaker for you, and that's totally, completely acceptable. That is your decision to make as an adult, as a consenting adult in relationships, and that is a completely valid reason. And other people have different valid reasons that some of them align with yours, some of them don't align with yours. But personally, for me, like it's the lying part is the crazy part. Like, how can you do that to someone else? How can you date someone else and not tell them? How can you do that? That's so mean to that other person that like they have no idea. They're literally fucking clueless. And because you don't want to put in the hard work that is just owning up to your shit, you'll say nothing. Like that is a messed up thing to do to another person. You should at least give that other person the ability to make that decision. If you cheat, you should at least give the other person the ability to make the decision to leave you. Isn't that like, shouldn't that be the bare minimum? Shouldn't that be just like the bare minimum? Whereas I don't think that there's nothing you can do to make up for lying. There's nothing. There's nothing. Because how do you trust that person? So if you were cheating, you would straight up tell your partner? Who wouldn't? Sorry, lots of people. Sorry, lots of people. Yeah, if you do anything fucked up to a partner and you guys had a previous agreement and an arrangement, which is what relationships are, you have a responsibility to that other person. You should give that other person the ability to make decisions. They're their own person. They have their own consciousness. It is your responsibility at that point to say that to that person, to be like, hey, I mean, this is why people, have you guys seen like the Reddit posts or even in your personal lives, the stories about people who end up with like work wives? And they are absolutely emotionally cheating on their partner. Like they're showing up to work and they're like flirting with another person. And then finally one day they have sex or whatever. It's like, I feel like all the other shit was way worse than the having sex part. Fuck. But and this is what I mean when I say relationships can be complicated and also cheating is bad. Both of these things can exist in the same world. Those people who end up in like work wife relationships where they care about and they love this other person that they're not with way more than their partner. I mean, look at Brian Gnome. I'm sorry. It's not the fact that he was having inflation sex with that woman. It's the fact that he was sending her messages like, God, I love you so much more than my wife. That's the part that's offensive. That's the part that's killer. I don't care that you blew up your fucking fake tits and you were like, ooh, I want to be a bimbo little slut. Oh, I want to be a little slut so bad. I don't give a shit about that. It's the part where you're talking to this other woman or this other person and being like, I love you so much more than my wife. Oh, I love you so much more. You're so much better than her. That part feels way worse. To me, I don't know, man. I don't know. That part feels really, really bad. Okay? That's the part that would be offensive to me. And there are people that are unhappy in their relationships, but they don't want to work out their problems for whatever reasons, and they have escapism for their problems, and for some people it's alcohol, for some people it's cheating. Doesn't make those things okay. Doesn't make them good. They're still bad. And they use, in some cases, work wives because they don't want to work things out, or they've tried so many times and they can't work things out with their partner, so they just avoid it. And they will go like weeks or months or years, and they kind of like know that they're cheating, but they don't say anything. And those people literally will never tell. Like, that's so fucked. I don't know what to say. That's so fucked. I feel like you have a responsibility when you like, the moment you realize you are starting to fall out of love with this other person who still loves you a lot, you should talk to them. Oh my God. Is that not the basics of like a relationship? Is that not the basics of a relationship with somebody else? Is it not fucked up to just like, for them to be just so, maybe it's just like, I have a lot of sympathy for like being unaware and being excluded and not knowing anything. It's such a humiliating feeling to like, especially if you find out from someone else. If you have to find out from someone else who doesn't even have an obligation to you. You find out from the side chick because your own partner doesn't respect you enough. Like, that is just so depressing. Like, and what a shattering thing, right? What a shattering thing. What a shattering thing to self-confidence. I know a lot of people who talk about, and this is why it's such a sensitive issue, I think, for a lot of people, rightfully so. And then when a lot of people talk about cheating, it's like, oh, they're going to leave me and abandonment issues. For me, it's always been like, I can't imagine a world where like my partner doesn't feel comfortable talking to me. Like, there must be something wrong with me if this person doesn't even feel comfortable talking to me and telling me issues that they might have or frustrations that they might have. And that's why they've decided to give up on our relationship and go seek it out somewhere else. Like, what a crushing development. Oh my God. Whereas like there's such an easy cope for like sex with other people. It's like, oh, okay, they were horny, or like, oh, okay, they were drunk, or oh, okay, you don't have to be with them. You don't have to stay with them. People can make stupid decisions. Someone actively cheating on you for months and talking to this other person about how much they love them. Like, that is literally either you picked someone so emotionally immature they can't talk to you, and you made a bad judgment call on the person, and you will struggle, and you struggle with determining that in other people, or you don't handle conversations well, and maybe that's why they didn't want to talk to you, or both. That's like so crushing. Like, oh my God, I would just be, is this another ADHD thing or something? Because you keep saying shit that makes sense to me, but it confuses others. Well, I think it's like, this is such a this is what I mean when I say relationships are complicated and cheating is bad. Like, if his criticism is me and my girlfriend literally haven't been intimate in years, that is a valid frustration with an invalid response. The response is not, well, I'm going to go have sex with other women. That's not the response. No, wrong. But it is valid to want to have sex with your partner in a sexual relationship. That is not, and in fact, there's a lot of literature, by the way, on like how one major psychological problem for men in traditional cishet relationships is not feeling wanted and feeling like all the sex is like a chore for the other person and they don't know how to deal with it. And every time they try and talk about it, they get shut down. Like that is a legitimate concern. And that's something that you and your partner maybe should go to therapy or sex therapy for or whatever. Like that's valid. That is totally, there are lots of things that are valid, but the solution isn't you go and cheat for weeks or months with other people. Like that's not the solution. That's not the solution. Just have open relationships? No, because you can still cheat in open relationships. You absolutely can still do that. You just lie to the person and tell them like, no, I'm not going to have sex with those people. And then you do. Open relationship doesn't mean you just go and have sex with everyone you want, whenever you want, with no repercussions or consequences in any way, shape, or form. My ex, who was my first partner, and I became depressed several months in and steadily became more closed off. Not just from her in general. We never really talked much about it. She didn't tell me how frustrated she was until the day she broke up with me. Which, good on her for telling you instead of cheating on you. But if you like don't feel listened to and you don't feel like your partner cares about you and it feels like you're just like this being that lives in the same complex or the same apartment or the same unit or same house, like growing up in a family that never acknowledges problems caused me to pick up these types of partners over and over. Oh, dude, I'm the opposite. I like, it's almost inherent that I have to date someone insufferable. Like I look at my like track record and I'm like, wow, I like need to be with people that are insufferable. There can't be any opacity in how I think you think. Like I need to know every stupid thought you have immediately. So at least I know that there's nothing I don't know. And sometimes that's like really, it's like, yeah, well, you were gone for like, like a day and it made me really sad. It's like, you know what? Sure. And sometimes it's like, dude, what if there are no more cats? What if like all of the cats got wiped out? Wouldn't that be fucked up? It's like, that's a really stupid thought, but that's okay. It's going to be okay. The cats are going to be fine, people. No, it's a valid concern. I don't know. I feel like if she tells you it's over right away, has sex with another guy, I mean, she was already cheating on you in the first place. I mean, the other thing too is that some people cheat and they're just pieces of shit and there's no complexity. Just because there can be complexity in a relationship where someone is cheating doesn't mean that there always is. Like there are some people that are great people and then their partner cheats on them because they feel like special, where it's like, oh, more than one person is interested in me at the same time. And then they realize like, but they only feel bad because there are consequences because the other person finds out. But prior to that, there are no consequences. Like, you're just a sack of shit. Like, you are actually a terrible human being and you were getting everything you wanted and you had like a beautiful wife and kids or a beautiful husband and kids and a great house and a great life. And you just did this just because. Like, you're just a bad person at that point. You're just upset that you got caught. Like, you're actually just like, whereas there are certain situations or relationships where it's like dead bedroom. It's like, doesn't make it okay, and it still means you should either try and work those problems out in therapy or sex therapy or both. But there are more complex issues that are causing people to do shitty things, right? Doesn't make that stuff okay. Doesn't make it okay. At no point does it make it okay. Some people seem to just think cheating equals not complex at all in any shape, way, or form. And it's like, no, it can be both. It can just be bad and like, I mean, you want to know the best example of this? Chibi reviews his fiance cheating on him. And then all of his friends siding with her. Our society is so anti-cheating. Do you know how fucked it is if everyone sided with the cheater? You must have been a terrible fucking person. That's probably why that chick was cheating on you. That doesn't mean all cheaters are like that. Doesn't mean all cheating is good. That doesn't make her cheating good. She should have dumped his ass. Believe it or not, there are people who support cheaters. It's wild and gross. I don't know. Maybe it's also like an adult thing and like having lots of relationships and like, sorry, like whenever I say relationships, I mean friendships, relationships with other human beings. Like my relationship to my best friend of like years or like my relationship with, you know what I mean? And I've seen like friend circles break and then reform because people can be adults, because things are complicated, because people are complicated and people are not black or white. People are morally gray. It's that I think in this, this is my personal opinion. I think a lot of this stems, especially with Americans, not exclusively, but I think for a lot of Americans where like sexual purity and puritanical culture is so heavy. I think people view intimacy as a very serious offense against your partner and a very serious form of disrespect against your partner. The most serious. Americans, I said not only Americans. I think Americans just have a lot of puritanical culture. I thought you were American. Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Yes, I am. Oh, thanks, Hayden. And this is just my opinion, especially talking to people who are poly and talking to people in open relationships versus talking to people in closed relationships. When you talk to people who are in open relationships who have been cheated on, they will tell you it's the lying. The sex is irrelevant. The sex is nonsensical. Who gives a shit? It's the fact that you don't trust me, you don't speak to me, and I can't trust you ever. And I totally agree with that criticism that it's the lying. Like, how can you love and trust someone who doesn't love and trust you? Like, what a truly terrible thing to have happen to you. You know what I mean? And I do think a big part of it is Puritan culture, but like on what we value most in society and what we devalue most. Like, I can't believe that people put up with certain shit. Like, sorry, let me correct my sentence. I have seen women in relationships and men in relationships who are constantly getting humiliated by their partners. And sometimes it's not intentional. It's just like their partner just humiliates them a lot. And they're just like, oh, you suck at this. Oh, you're the. And I've seen that, like, I've been close enough friends where you ever get to this. I don't know if anyone here has got to experience this, but I highly recommend trying it if you have the opportunity. Third wheel an argument between a couple. It's great. It's so great. It's like, no, I'm listening. I'm here. You're making good arguments. No, for sure. Now, but did you consider that their arguments are also valid in this specific vein? No, it's my personal hell. I love it. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Oh, sorry to be a psychopath on this front. I always just say mommy and daddy are fighting, rage baiting a couple. Throwing in curveballs for no reason, bro. What was I trying to say? I was trying to get to something. We're like, genuinely, I've sat down in conversation with people who are both my friends. I like both people the same amount. And I met them about at the same time. One of them did not introduce me to the other. I was friends with both of them before they started dating. And they're having like an issue or whatever. And I view them as literally equally my friends. I don't like one person more than the other person. I don't have, like, if they were to break up, I would want to be friends with both of them. I wouldn't want to lose both of them. Or I wouldn't want to, there's not one that I would dump and be like, okay, whatever, I'm cool with this one. And I've spoken to these people.
Like, at all. Because her camera is so fucking big.
That's so true. True. Obviously you said side with the femme or the bottom. Not true. Not true at all. There was this one terrible person that almost broke up a Discord. It was terrible. It was horrible. But anyways, which sucks because I didn't really dislike her the way that everybody else disliked her, but she was in the wrong. It was bad. It was bad. Anyways, so if you're a big enough asshat to third wheel, maybe you can get them to forget their beef and get mad at you, tank their anger. So true. Moving on though. So talking to those people, you will see genuine like confusion in some faces where they're like, wait, was that like humiliating for you? I thought it was just like friendly, like riffing. And I'm like stepping in. I'm like, yeah, no, sorry, referee here. I just wanted to say that is in fact very humiliating. Yeah. And they're like, oh, fuck. I didn't even think about it. I guess I would, huh? I got to reevaluate this. So sometimes shit is just like things that I think are way bigger problems. People will just ignore in their relationships. Can you be specific? Like making jokes at your partner's expense in front of people that don't really know you, I think is so disrespectful. Like if I was to go out with some friends and two of them are dating and we're meeting new friends and the couple, let's say she says, "Oh, my boyfriend fucking sucks in bed, bro." And she's joking and all of us know it's an inside joke or whatever, but these new people don't know it's an inside joke. And she didn't have a thought about it. It didn't cross her mind like, "Oh, this might be fucked up to say out loud to people that don't know me." That's like, "Oh my God, stop. What are you doing?" Oh my God. It's horrible. I had an ex that did that to me constantly and wore me down. After a while, hurt my self-esteem. I feel like that's way worse than like, oh, you found out your partner made out with someone else. Like there are things that are way worse offensive that people just tank in their relationships. They just tank them. I'm like, dude, you do not have to tank that. You actually don't have to tank the Punisher ult for no reason. There's cover right there, man. You don't have to tank it. Wait, you're playing Magneto. You have a Q. What are you doing? Hello? Press Q. So I do think that there is a part of communication that I think just everybody could improve on or whatever. But yeah, I think that mostly made sense. I feel like by the end of this conversation, we all kind of got to the same page. You guys understood what I meant. The takeaway here for me from all of this is, dude, Sykkuno, why the fuck are you replying to 19-year-old girls? Like, dude, stop. Like, just reply to the 30-year-old women and break up with your girlfriend. Oh my God. I get it. The relationship is probably complicated because all relationships are complicated. But that's a mess. You can't lie to someone like that, man. You have an obligation to your partner. Dude, and I think a lot of people put a bad taste in their mouth because after all of this, he basically just reiterates that he knew and that he's been with his girlfriend for a while and blah, blah, blah. And then by the end of it, she says this, and I think this put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths.
That's fine. By settled, I mean, like, that's it. Like,
What's it?
probably never talking again.
You and me?
Yes.
What? Why?
Is that not why?
What is why? I'm still upset with you, but you didn't cheat on me. You can still
What?
talk to me and be like, make up for your actions. Don't get me wrong, because I always am there for second chances. But I never will forgive you for cheating on her. That's
Like, so this is what I mean when I say like master manipulator feels, I really do want, I really, collectively, I would really love if everyone really uses puts their best foot forward and uses their best attempt and makes the best attempt they can to use language that is accurately descriptive of what is happening. Because a master manipulator would not be the one saying, well, I guess like, if you feel this strongly, like, we can't really talk to each other. So, yeah. And then agreed to everything, didn't try to convince her of anything. He didn't say, no, well, it was actually that I did this and this and this. And, that person isn't like, just so you know, they're a liar. He just like folds immediately and says, yeah, I did cheat on her. Yeah. And it was fucked up. And yeah, he effectively says, I didn't feel like dealing with my relationship. And I was a piece of shit for not dealing with my relationship and avoiding it and escaping from it by, flirting with e-girls on the internet or whatever. So, I guess this is goodbye. Like, master manipulator. Why can't he just be a total piece of shit? Why can't he just be a piece of shit, man? But that doesn't work for me either. Yeah, that guy's a fucking manipulator, dude. That guy, master of folding, evidently, bro. I don't know what this is either. It's just, yeah. Here's the thing. Like I said, all of this is to say from what I've seen, and I also saw a lot of people saying stuff like this, which is, let me see if I can find it. A lot of creators talking about, let me see. Like, can you criticize him for cheating? Absolutely. I never did once feel manipulated by this dude. He's a huge flirt. I was incredibly aware of the power dynamic. He was also just friendly, quite forward with his riz, which I didn't like being around. Gave me player vibes. Am I going to flip out on him? No, usually when someone is like that, they're already talking to multiple people. And I've also seen this. I've seen women who got like one text message saying that they're victims. It's like, literally, if you got one text message, you are not a victim for getting one text message. You know who the fucking victim is? The poor girlfriend getting humiliated without her fucking consent. Did any of these people reach out to his girlfriend and say, hey, is it okay if I post this? No one seems to care. Like, no one seems to care. Also seeing people throw the word predator on it. I think that's unreasonable. Again, I think in this context, it inherently is a predatory relationship when you're with someone that much younger because you have more relationship knowledge than they do. So it is easier for you to exploit them, and they are going to do things. And that's why you should just shut down those conversations immediately and say, like, sorry, you're 19? No. No. But yeah. And then also apparently they went to some weird right-wing YouTuber to make this video, which I don't. Mujan was never really a reliable narrator. If a large creator who's friendly asked to play a game with you, would you say no? Which I think is part of the problem, but that's. They just made it infinitely worse for the actual girl. I'm just, like I said, like I would want to curse blowed if I was his girlfriend and I had to get. Can you imagine? God forbid you get text messages being like, "Hey, I just saw this. Are you okay?" Oh my God, that would be so humiliating. And it just doesn't stop. It's just a week straight of like finding out he's reaching out to every woman you've ever known. Oh my God. So is Sykkuno not invited to Among Us lobbies anymore? No. I'm afraid it's not happening. Powder is a right-wing girl herself. Okay, I don't know I don't keep track of all the right-wing VTubers. I don't do that. I apologize. Does that make sense to everyone? Do you guys understand my position? Do you guys understand what I mean? Because I saw so many people responding to the original criticism, to the original twitlonger from this woman about like all of these people are calling her a liar because she's using words and she's like using the term master manipulator and predator in context where it's like, this is a serial cheater. Agree. Serial liar. Prolific liar. And someone who cannot and does not respect very problematic age gaps. Great. Absolutely. Absolutely great. There's nothing wrong with any of that. And also, I feel like you should say explicitly I'm just going to hope and pray that she got permission to post that video. I would never personally, if this was my boyfriend, I would never give permission for this video to be posted where he says, we haven't had sex in years. Oh my God. They would say, can I upload this or publish it? And I'd be like, no, are you crazy? No. You can upload the one little tidbit where he says that he cheated and maybe like 1 minute or 2 minutes. You got to cut that out, bro. Fuck no, dude. From her behavior, still wanting to talk to him afterward. I don't know if she got permission. And then, yeah, the ending of it where it's like, wait, why don't you want to talk to me? I mean, like, it'll take me a lot to forgive you, but you didn't cheat on me, technically. Like, but it's like, she's 19, of course. Of course she feels that way. That's it. Because it just makes... And this is what I said when I talked about Emaru and the lawsuit with Mizkif. I have to believe that her retelling of events was accurate to how she felt in that moment, because what a shit show it would be to have one of the largest creators misrepresenting situations and describing them as being traumatic if they weren't. That is my one. But yeah, So that's the point that I'm making. I'm the girlfriend. I'm swinging on everyone. Best believe. Dude, real. She didn't get permission because she was asking for the girlfriend's contact information on the same thread where she literally posted the Google Doc. Are you... I don't have words. I'm so sorry for literally saying nothing. She got her contact info through Bao. Listen, I'm tuned in because I thought the stream was muted. I'm sorry. I personally think if you're making an expose on someone, it is really important to get the victims, especially in this case, where the document is mostly about cheating, the girlfriend's consent about this story. I think you have the full authority to go and tell that other person. I think I would even say you maybe have a responsibility that if you are the side, what's the male equivalent for side chick? I don't know. The side meat? That feels wrong. You're the side piece. There we go. I feel like if you're the side piece, you kind of have a responsibility to the person being cheated on to tell them. Like a little. The person who has the most responsibility is the person that's doing the cheating, but like a little bit of a responsibility, just like a tiny bit to tell them. I can kind of understand if the context of the relationship maybe is weird or something. I don't know. Or like the person in question is like a psychopath and you think they might kill you. Okay, that's valid to not tell them. You should probably stop seeing that person then if you're afraid. I wanted to read this one story. This is another point that I kind of wanted to talk about, but I didn't know how to talk about it. And I feel like I know how to talk about it now. Person said, Tony Magoo said, I cheated on my girlfriend in high school because I was a dingus. I told her and we tried to make it work, broke up 5 months later. I'm 30 now. But yeah, I've accepted for the rest of my life. I'm going to hate me for that. She deserved better. We were in a large friend group and all of our friends are no longer my friends. I just don't feel like I should be there. 10 years of therapy. I learned a lot about how I work, learned that I'm going to carry that guilt till the end. Sykkuno got to face the music. Very stupid. And let me say, I feel like this is, and there's an argument to be made or there are conversations to be had. I feel like when I think of like the Me Too movement and I think about the type of documents that come out and what falls in that category of Me Too, I think of people who are like emotionally, psychologically, physically, or sexually abusing other people. Because you are not there. I don't feel like there's anything you can do to make up for that. Like, and this is maybe just my opinion. I feel like if you sexually abuse someone, I don't know how that person can forgive you. Like, I don't know how that person can move past that. Or like physical abuse should be a one and done for everyone in here. Like, you don't put your hands on someone else. Like, I'm talking about like literally grabbing another person or like punching another person or slapping another person. And I don't mean like slapping their ass or whatever. I mean like physically, threateningly putting your hands on someone else. Like, I don't like that. And that should be for everyone, men and women both in here. You should leave immediately. Like, that's literally a one and done. And it should be. And no one considers that anyone should ever have to forgive you for that. Right? Whereas what we tell people in our society about cheating is, you're a fucking idiot. You shouldn't have done that. You're a piece of shit. Do we mention that you're a fucking idiot and a piece of shit? Okay, go tell your partner and see if they take you back. The only thing you can do is go and tell them all of what I just told you and see if they take you back for making such a stupid decision. In my opinion, there is nothing you can say and do to make up for physically, psychologically, or sexually abusing another person. Like it's just such a high crime that has so much intent behind it. Like, you don't accidentally strangle someone or accidentally punch someone. Well, theoretically, I guess you could be sleeping, and then I've had it happen to me. I've also done it where you're like, slap the shit out of someone. That's not what I'm talking about. Like, with intent, trying to threaten. You don't accidentally threaten someone and then punch them. That you don't accidentally do that. That's not like a. Mm-mm. And that's also another one. Physical violence, especially, like, it's just not worth your life because you don't know what that. Even if they can change, you don't know if like that will ever escalate to more. Like, it has to be a complete one and done situation. And that's what we tell people. We tell, like, if you, I mean, literally, imagine your best friend, they get cheated on. You'd probably want to beat the shit out of that guy or that woman or whatever. And then if they came and they apologized and they did everything right, you would probably be like, you should dump them. You should not take them back. And if they tried to take them back, you'd be like, all right, you better be watching. And they better be doing the Lord's work to make you forgive them. All right? They better be on their knees worshiping you for at least a year straight. If you found out your best friend was getting physically assaulted by their partner, you, I think, as a good friend, show up, take all their shit out of their place and tell them to stay with you. Because there's nothing there. I would never, ever, ever, ever tell a person, well, they should make it up. No. It's just not acceptable. That's beyond, you can't, it's not just one accident. It's just not, it's just, there are certain crimes that are just, and when I say crimes, I don't mean like in the literal sense. I mean like moral crimes or moral failings that are just too big to ignore. I had this conversation with my mom when she was dating a real scumbag bastard that had abused her right in front of me. Before I took a cane to him, she had laughed at me saying I couldn't possibly know what I was talking about, and it'd go on to happen again and again. And the scary thing with physical abuse, and I'm serious when I say men and women, by the way, like, it's not okay just because it's happening to men and the woman is weaker. She can still kill you, okay? I mean, she just needs to get you when you're fucking half asleep or drunk or whatever. Like, it's just not. The scary thing about physical abuse is they can literally kill you. It's another person. Another able-bodied person can fucking kill you. Like, it's just not worth your life to keep forgiving that person. It's less likely for women to actually kill you. Yeah, obviously. But I'm saying, like, just because that's the case, it doesn't mean you shouldn't take it seriously. And it should be taken seriously. Just because it's easier for someone who's physically stronger than you to murder you doesn't mean you shouldn't take it seriously. I tried to reach out to her to catch up and apologize for being such an ass after college because my therapist said it would be healthy for you to reconnect, and we all still hung out in the same group, never spoke. Ghosted me. I had to tip the cap and live with it. Well, props to you for not lying to her, because that is, in my opinion, one of the most fucked up things you can do. If not the most fucked up thing you can do to a partner, is just persistently lie to them. But all I'm going to say is she's 20 years old. When I was 20, my frontal lobe wasn't even formed yet. This situation just sucks for the girlfriend so bad. I hope she has a solid support network. Correct. Yeah, so all of that is to say, I feel like the point of Twitlongers, or the point of a lot of the Me Too movement, is behavior that is so reprehensible that there is no justification or there is no analysis to be made. No one is doing anything to you that makes it so that the only retaliation you have is sexual abuse. That doesn't exist. It literally doesn't exist. And there's no way to come back from that. Like, you start over and reevaluate yourself as a person. You can't, I don't even think you can ask for forgiveness for certain things, for like physical abuse or sexual abuse. I don't think you can even start to do that. For things outside of that, for things that people have moved past and have apologized for and have been able to fix their relationships, it feels insane to air some of the stuff that I've seen online, and it just makes me upset. What I also will say is, man, can I say it is insane that there's anyone cheering on Sykkuno and being like, "Hey, my man," and that Heide had to deal with people accusing her of being a cheater, which she literally didn't even do that. Like, Heide, because her and her boyfriend broke up amicably, that other people went to her photos and were like, look, this is proof that she was cheating. Here she is in a photo with a man. Like, she got so much hate for nothing. Kaide got so much hate because they made a post saying that they're breaking up and that it's all amicable. And she got insane amount of hate. So much hate. And that any of those people, God forbid, any of them are the same people as people being like, hey, Sykkuno, my man. You're a sack of shit, dude. You're actually a horrible person. You are what is wrong with a lot of the cultural problems in America. Tens tried his hardest to defend her too. They just didn't believe him. Yeah, for anyone who missed this, there's these two streamers. One of them is called Kaide, and one of them is called Tens. And they broke up after like 7 years of being together, and they made a post together. And they both okayed it and retweeted it, and they both made comments about it later and said, yeah, like sometimes, relationships, they just like lose their spark, and we're not together anymore, but it's all okay, and we're still friends, and we're good. All right? We're totally, totally good. So, yeah. I just wanted to let you guys know we're not together anymore. And everyone's like, yeah, she probably cheated on him. He gave her the world and she cheated on him. It's like, and he went online. He's like, she did not cheat on me. Whatever schizo shit you're writing, whatever fanfic you've made in your world has not happened. We amicably broke up. It's just not the same relationship anymore, and we're going our separate ways. That's it. Can you guys please stop harassing her? As her ex-boyfriend, can you guys please stop harassing this poor woman? And they were like, yeah, she definitely was cheating on him. Yeah, for sure. It's like, I have no words. I don't have any words. That's amazing. That's incredible. Insane behavior. Permanently online parasocial. Yeah. Why even do that? Shouldn't you keep your relationship issues private? Well, the problem is that sometimes when you're publicly dating and you want people to stop talking about you two together, it's almost easier to make a public statement being like, we're not together. Like that would you call the girls call out Sykkuno harassing? Can you rewrite this sentence? Sorry. I saw your other sentence, people attacking Sykkuno for cheating, but dude, I like keep waiting to find or see anything that shows me that this is probably my fault to be TBQH. What the fuck is that Bonnie clip? I've seen it like 40 times and I'm just like, no, for sure. This time it's going to have context. I'm going to be wrong about this. And no one cares. And I'm just going to say if they were a man, that would be on every news network. What clip? I think she recently addressed it and then I was like, oh, okay. Context? Yeah, sure. This is the one, I think. The caption is Bonnie addresses resurfaced clip of her from 2014 admitting to having sexual relations with a minor, confirming she was 18 years old.
Also, I saw a clip going around. I saw an old clip going around. And I just want to make it very, very clear so that there's absolutely no misinformation or confusion. But that clip, I was 18 in that clip. The clip's from 2014, and you can see the verified dates if you care. So that's pretty much all there is to it. And yes.
But basically, like, he was actually 16. I thought he was 17. He lied to me. He was a virgin, and I took his virginity. But like at the time, my mentality was like, okay, I don't have casual sex, but this is like my only time to like have sex with somebody who's younger than me.
Why the music?
Do the cougar thing and never see him again, and no one ever know about it. Just for like the experience. Yes, I do swallow. And so I did it, and then.
Why the music? Am I just like, I guess I was just like a loser growing up. I guess. I just didn't, I was literally too busy reading yaoi until I was like 19. That's it? Yeah. I just think it's like, I do think that if I think people would care more. I don't know how to feel about it, but I feel like people would care more if he was a man who was 18 and it was a chick that was 16. I do feel like that is the case. Call Me Carson died for this. Yeah, but Call Me Carson was also like an abusive piece of shit who was like very gross. I have no take on this. Yeah, that's why I'm just the only thing I'm highlighting is the way that people treat different situations or similar situations on the internet differently. And it does feel like the world would be a better place without Yoxic. I swear to God. No, you're so right, and you should say it. You're so right, and you should say it. You're so right, and you should say it. Said she's 18 in this clip. What age was she when she was with the 16-year-old? I mean, I don't know. Pretty sure that was like, I don't know. I don't know. Probably rage baiting. No, why do people do this? Why when people? No, don't understand this weird cope. It's gross, weird vibe. Music makes it feel so much more just disturbing than without the music. Yeah. Ugh. It just has bad vibes. That's all. That's all. I don't really understand the. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. I have never ever thought or have been interested in any way, serious capacity, flirted with, spoken to a teenager in that way ever. So I don't at any point. So I don't understand. I just don't get. But again, maybe that's just like normal and everybody else does it. And I was just too busy fucking reading manga and watching anime. I don't know. All right. Anywho, told her he was 17. I don't even know how much of the story is real. Okay. I don't even know whether or not the original story is real. If the original story is an exaggeration or an under exaggeration. If it's over exaggerated or under exaggerated, I don't know. Like, besides the point, I just can't. I can't listen. I think there are more important things. Who dug this up and why did they go public with it? Do we know? I don't know, because people love to hate. That's why. Same reason anyone pulls up anything that's old from someone. It's just like, I just want to be a hater, so I'm going to upload this. There is something funny about like the clips that they pull up of me where they're like, look, you criticized the left when you were younger. Like, what is the own? The left has always criticized the left. The left always wants other members of the left to be perfect. Oh my fuck. Oh, Jesus. So funny. But moving on. I'm younger. I did it like yesterday. True. Loki confirms leftist cred. Loki it is. It is confirmation of leftist street cred that you spent time attacking leftists. Whereas the guaranteed way to know someone's a conservative is that they only attack liberals, not leftists. If someone attacks like the woke blue hair, it's like, oh, you were definitely a conservative. If you're attacking the left, it's like, yeah, you've been a leftist for your whole life, huh? Haven't you? Oh, yeah. Liberal. La la la. Happy fun. I criticized to the left too. It wasn't Beyonce's strongest work. Someone finally speaking the truth. They're just finally speaking the truth. I just felt like I was going crazy because it felt like no one was talking about this poor girlfriend who is like the biggest victim in all of this. And not great. Also just I feel like we can criticize these things without being shitty to the people talking about it. Like so many people were ragging on the woman who made the post. It's like, my only criticism is I wish she would use more precise language instead of framing it as like master manipulation or whatever. It's like, because it's just offensive to women who do, or people who do talk about their experiences, and their experiences are, in fact, with people who are incredibly manipulative. That guy was like an amateur manipulator. I don't even know if I saw anything that was manipulation. If the post was, yeah, he should know better than to be speaking to a 19-year-old as a 34-year-old. It's like, yeah, I totally agree with that. Nothing to say there. You're just right on that. You're just based, queen. So, but I also, like, the chick is like the woman who made the post is like 19, you know? That shit, bro, your poor frontal lobe, right? I can understand rage at her wording this. Well, because it inevitably leads to a bunch of people not believing more women. And if you use any hyperbolic language and it's not precise and it's not precisely accurate, then other women have to suffer because of that, right? Like, and that's just brutal. And then also no one seems to care about their girlfriend. I felt like I was going insane, so I'm glad that I got to talk about it with you guys. Also minimizes Sykkuno's actions because every insult's going to cry about how it's not the definition of predator or manipulator. Yeah. I just think that there's a lot within your power.
Assault's hot. Oh, I'm going to fuck him.
A lot within your power when you're coming out with statements like this and you have a lot of time to prepare, and it's worthwhile to have a responsibility, especially to other women, to make the best statement that you can. So, and again, also, let me be clear, not to Obama, but if there are other women that have experienced serious abuse or rather not serious abuse, but abuse and have been sexually exploited by Sykkuno, I would absolutely lend my strength to them, like 100%. And it's like, it doesn't feel good to be speaking to someone and then you find out you're the side chick. Like, that doesn't feel good for anyone. Being led on doesn't feel good for anyone. So I feel for like the women who he was speaking to. I just, classic left criticizing the left. I want all of us to be better and perform better and be able to criticize things as accurately as we can so that all future victims also get that ability and get to be taken seriously and get the maximum charitability. And obviously, in case it needs to be said, although you guys already know this, don't tap the glass. Don't message any of these people. Don't reply to any of these people. Don't go into Sykkuno's mentions. Don't go into this VTuber's mentions. Don't. Just leave these people alone. Just leave them alone. No need to tap this glass. There's really no need. So, yeah, that's the, yes, thank you. This is what I want. And I appreciate it. This is the ideal for me. Someone asked, what did Sykkuno do? I just got here, and someone else responded saying, lie, cheat, problematic age gap. Perfect. Thank you. That is the descriptor that it should be.
Denims is streaming.
And those things are bad enough on their own. We don't need to exaggerate more or say more than there actually is. Because all of those, in my opinion, are bad enough on their own. Those are already, like, that's already all evidence of shitty behavior from a shitty person. So I hope that makes sense. I feel like everybody understood what I meant and everything, which made me really happy. So